Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sister. How are you?
Alhamdulillah. Wa alaikum assalam. How are you, sister?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Sister, could you please introduce yourself for us and tell us a little bit about what you do?
My name is Aisha.
Okay.
I don't really do anything. I'm an artist. I'm currently selling on my page.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Hispanic. I live in the US. That's kind of the basics.
Okay, alhamdulillah.
I'm a revert.
You're a revert to Islam, a convert, yes?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, I
alhamdulillah.
reverted last June.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah. So could you share with us your story then, how you came to Islam, please?
We we started learning about like the major religions. Of course, it started with it being in a Western country. Everyone blamed 9/11 for Islam, you know.
Okay.
Um, so I guess growing up, I always had like faith in people being good, that it wasn't exactly that group of people
Mm-hmm.
who I was always interested in it. And then come the beginning of high school, we started learning about the major religions um, that are spreading rapidly. And Islam, I kind of got a little bit of insight on it. And then come last summer, I actually spoke with a Muslim person for the first time, which I started asking questions, and it raised my interest, and eventually I reverted.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So when you spoke to the Muslim person that you know, obviously asked questions, did you find that what they told you about Islam was different from what you've been learning in school? Or was it along the same lines, just more in depth?
What we learned in school was more like, we really didn't learn too much about it, just like how um, we couldn't, Muslims can't eat pork, and you know, they pray 5 times a day, they worship Allah, their messengers, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just the basic stuff. So mhm. it, I didn't get a first impression too much with learning it in school, because it wasn't much about how we perceived it. It was more of the base facts on the religion.
Okay.
So when I started learning from the Muslim person, it was more of an impression for the first time. It was a positive impression.
Alhamdulillah. So then what was it exactly that made you want to take that step to become a Muslim?
Um, there's a lot of things actually that influenced it. Well, obviously the religion is peaceful and it's beautiful, like completely beautiful. The most beautiful thing I've experienced in my life is reverting into this religion. So I think definitely learning about it it really played into a factor of me reverting. But also when I was younger, I was forced into, I guess, a few Christian camps, and the not really that good. They kind of forced me to say I was saved by God and stuff, and I didn't want to be forced into something. I wanted to follow it myself. So I ended up being led to Islam.
Okay,
Alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah. So you say you've mentioned you're from a Christian background then. So could you explain a little bit about your family background and beliefs?
Majority of my family is actually Catholic, but my father is Christian. They're very strict. We're Puerto Rican.
Right.
So we have like a really strict family. Actually, I don't think most of them don't even know that I'm Muslim still, because my father is worried about telling them that.
So are you currently still living with your parents?
Yeah, I actually recently moved in with my father. I was staying with my mom for a bit.
So how did your family take it when they found out that you became a Muslim?
It was kind of like, so my mother actually walked in when I was saying Shahada.
Oh.
Yeah.
How did that
she
happen?
kind of just and
Sorry, sister, could you
I
repeat that, please?
told her the night before, I might revert tomorrow, so just give me some space. I told her the day before that I was thinking about reverting,
Right.
and that, kind of give me some space the next day so I could take it in and learn. And I don't remember, going to tell me something, and I was in the middle of saying Shahada when she walked in, so she kind of just walked right back out the room.
Okay, so you was at home by yourself?
My mother and her husband were also home.
Right. Okay. So did you in terms of the Shahada itself, like was you alone when you took the Shahada? Did you do it by yourself?
I had the Muslim who was teaching me help me go through it.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Good. Okay, mashallah. So now you live with your father. How has it been, your transition coming into Islam, having a little bit of obviously moving like within your family? How has that been? How have you found
He
it?
didn't take it so well.
No?
Obviously, because it was last June. So things have gotten better. They're accepting a little bit more of it. But in the beginning, my father, he picked me up, and I came in a hijab, a scarf, and he didn't expect it at all.
Right.
And he was lecturing me on the car ride to his house. Like, the entire time, he was just raising his voice with me, lecturing me about Christianity, and like he was trying to revert me back to how I was. So
And what about
things were difficult with him.
Yeah, subhanallah. So how is it now, like with wearing the scarf and covering? Are they more accepting of that now, that you both your parents?
Well, I started wearing it August, not too long after I reverted.
Okay.
I kind of told them, like, it doesn't matter if they accept it, me, not them right now. Of course, I respect them, respect your elders, but they can't stop me from worshiping Allah, and they're gonna have to accept that I'm their child at the end of the day. Don't make it seem like you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's because at the end of the day,
It's not
nothing changes the fact that you're still their daughter, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Just take them some time to get used
like
to.
I'm still their daughter. Nothing has changed. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So what about with regards to the niqab? So have you been wearing the niqab? Have you tried it? And if so, like, have you found it difficult? Because I mean, it's early days you've been Muslim, right? So
the first Thursday back to school, I started wearing niqab and jilbab permanently.
Okay, so when was that?
Last August, I think.
Okay, mashallah. And how did that go?
Physical attacks happen more when I was wearing hijab than when I'm wearing niqab and
Really?
jilbab.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain,
Of
like,
course.
why do you think that was?
I think people are more scared of niqab. Here, I'm actually one who wear niqab and jilbab here. There's one other niqabi, and like you hardly see her around. So
Okay.
it's not normal, I guess. And also because of, the whole thing behind 9/11, and then just anything to do with niqabis is negative here. So I think people are more scared. They're too scared to confront me or, physically come at me, like with hijab.
Okay, so when you was wearing just the hijab, the scarf, what kind of physical abuse did you encounter?
Um, I remember, and this was actually before we came back to school. It was on summer break. I was at the school for some reason, and one of the students I was walking with my friend. One of the students came over and started harassing my friend. He started to chase her around, threatening her and stuff. And then he took something he had on him and he threw it at me.
Okay. So do you think that was specifically because of being Muslim, or just because he was being an idiot in general?
Um, Muslim, because I actually knew him
Okay.
in the past, and he never started really acting that way until he saw me in the headscarf.
Right.
So,
So was your friend all with you that was with you also a Muslim?
no, I actually don't have any Muslim friends here.
Oh,
I'm the
okay.
only Muslim in my school, unfortunately.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, mashallah, you're very brave to make such a big change in your life, and kind of be independent and do something very different than what other people are doing, because that makes it quite difficult. A lot of the time people find it different to make a change when they're the only person doing it.
Yeah.
So how have you found that? Obviously, like, where do you get your kind of inspiration or your encouragement from to be able to wear the hijab and the niqab?
If it pleases Allah, it pleases me.
Alhamdulillah. So how have you gotten with other things to do with the religion? How is it doing prayers, for
Um,
example, during the daytime when you're at school? How do you find that?
I still do my best to pray,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still trying to figure out the correct way of doing it because I didn't. That's one of before I stopped being able to talk to the Muslim person who introduced me to Islam.
So are you not having any help now with practicing your religion? Is that what you're saying?
There's a few people who live a bit further away from me who help me. They've given me books and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, um, so I'm doing my best to learn from what they teach me
Okay.
and to learn by myself.
Alhamdulillah. So which area are you living in exactly? Or which city?
The East Coast, uh, South South Carolina.
Are you in South Carolina? Okay. Right. Well, if there's
Yeah, the
anybody living
USA.
in South Carolina, any Muslims, then this sister could do with some help, inshallah.
There's actually quite a few. When I think about it, mostly down towards the coast. There's more Muslims there.
Is there a mosque as well?
There's quite a few here. Yeah, there's actually when they have their services, they kind of have them more on Fridays. There's quite a few Muslims up here, but there isn't there's not like a lot where you run into them everywhere.
Right. And have you been to the
Yeah.
local mosque?
Once I've been. I'd like to go more, but I don't know when the services are.
Right, okay. So you need help as like just generally being a new Muslim. And do you know if they have any things for new Muslims in your local mosque?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
went once. I didn't really get the chance to figure that out.
Okay. So you're mostly relying on like things that you find online now.
I have a lot of books
Hmm.
that was given to me. Follows about the it follows Hanafi.
Okay.
So I and then there's a few scholars or a few sheikhs that I follow online.
Alhamdulillah. So when you like, since you've been wearing the niqab, you say that you found it that you get attacked. You've been attacked less wearing the niqab than when you was wearing the hijab. So do you think that it's quite easy wearing the niqab, or are there still challenges that you've been encountering? And if
There's still a lot of challenges
right,
with niqab, and
mm,
actually I've had more challenges with niqab than when I was wearing hijab. Of course, I wasn't wearing hijab that long, but I still there was less I had to think about, I guess.
so could you explain like what are some of the challenges that you've come across wearing the niqab, and why do you think those challenges happen?
Well, right now, one of my biggest things is JROTC. We have to get a PE credit in school.
Okay,
So I'm in JROTC,
okay,
and the uniform we wear like twice a week, and they require me, which as long as it's in that small area, I guess I'm okay doing it. There's not that many males in the class.
mm-hmm.
Um, but they require you to walk all day in uniform. So that's one of my biggest challenges
So what is the
right
uniform
now
like?
with niqab is taking it off.
Mm,
It's just the general. It's an Air Force military uniform,
okay,
so I can wear hijab with it, but they don't want me to cover my face.
yes, yeah. And what other kind of challenges have you had?
I really like. I don't like removing my niqab.
Yeah.
Um, mental challenge where I want to give up. Maybe my morning didn't start off too well, and I'll be struggling to put on manner, and I just I want to give up. For the sake of Allah, um, I still wear it, even if it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, of course, I get name called in classes and stuff. I get, I actually get singled out in class.
By
Um,
who? The teacher?
Students and the teachers,
Okay.
unfortunately. I sit alone, and no one comes near me. They just leave me alone by
Mm-hmm.
myself. And when it comes to group work, I never end up in a group. I'm always by myself.
So, do you not have any close friends in your class?
I have a few friends. I have a few friends. They're just not in the same classes.
Right, okay. So that must be quite awkward as well. What would you advise to sisters who would like to wear the niqab and they are struggling to wear it, or they don't have the confidence to wear it? What would be your advice to give them?
Um, hmm. Don't don't be scared to try it. If if there's of course gonna be if there's a situation where you think you might be endangered, just start, you know, start small, be scared to try it.
Okay, alhamdulillah. And what does the niqab mean to you?
It's a really big step. It means a lot to me. I mean, I can't even step outside without my niqab because I feel naked without it.
SubhanAllah. Alhamdulillah. So you mentioned before about this Air Force thing. Is that something that you would like to go into for a career? Or is that just for extra credits on your schoolwork?
Before I reverted, I actually wanted to be in the Navy.
Okay.
But I actually, right now, I would rather pursue Islam. I want to be a scholar, inshallah.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Allah make it easy for you. Jazakallah khair, sister. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you.